All right, but thank you so much. And wow, once again, well, welcome everyone. Just to let us know once again, last week we started something very awesome, something very awesome, and which is a multi-criteria overlay analysis. Okay, just uh, permit me coming so that so we started dealing with multi-criteria overlay analysis. So just like we have it here, multi-criteria overlay analysis with GIS. And our major tool that we'll be using for this class since last week is QGIS. I know we know that we have several tools. When we started this class this year, we introduced to several tools that we use in geospatial analysis and geospatial generally. So that I'll just remind us some of the things that we did last week. We're trying to introduce what multi-criteria analysis is, and just to let us know, it's just imagine, just think about we carry out multi-criteria analysis over time every day. Can we hear me, please? All right. So we carry out this analysis every day. From imagine you want to we call something shawarma, right? So and before we have shawarma, there are a lot of things that you gather together, you overlaid before it becomes one meal. But there are layers of things. You have your hot dog, you have your bread, you have a lot of things that you brought together and you call it a name. So it's a layer of several things, and remember what we call salad or coleslaw. It's one name representing a lot of things that we bring together just to have one name. Go ahead to think about hair growth. Go ahead to think about makeup. I think ladies will understand this better, right? From foundation. I know that foundation is not everything. So imagine, I was just thinking that I didn't mean a lady has five faces, put foundation on one, that's one layer, put another thing. I don't know their names, but I have friends who are doing this, and sometimes it's funny to read, guys, but that's how some of them catch the beauty. So I'm just trying to make it a little bit very open to us that what we do every day. Because some girls even do multi-criteria analysis while looking for boyfriend. Even boys do that too. A guy that is tall, a guy that is dark. These are layers, bring it together to form one person you form. So now, but our own, our own use case is identify a suitable area for development that are closer to roads. That's one. We are dealing with three criteria today. We are not doing so much. The first thing is that they are closer to road. The second one is that they are away from water bodies. And the third one is that they are not in a protected area. They are open spaces, And these are the three criteria we'll be looking at. I've defined criteria analysis for us that it is the process that involves allocating area based on various attributes that the selected area should possess. So you know what your boyfriend should possess, you know how your face should look like, so you know if you are looking for a green face, you know what the things to mesh together to produce that. So although this is a GIS operation, but it is best to perform this kind of thing in raster space using grid-based approach, because we know that we have vector layers and we have raster layer. Now, don't forget our data that we're using is a vector layer. And then last week, we were able to cover something beautiful. We were able to learn how to rasterize, because one thing is that we can use vector layers, but the best one is the raster layer. The reason why we don't want to use vector layer now is because vector layer, it can only give us a binary solution. What I mean by binary solution is that, binary means 1 and 0. So for example, now it can only help us to get if it's either suitable or not suitable. Those are the two things. But by the time we are using raster, it helps us to, how will I use the name now? It helps us to, give like levels, suitable, not suitable, moderate, suitable. You get to see it by the end of this class. That's why but for vector can only gives only binary operations. So we have downloaded our data and then we have performed some of this operation. I'm just going to, the only thing I'm going to first of all do now is to give, refresh our memory. I'm going to start by, rasterizing just one layer for us. So by that, you can know how to rasterize. I mean, we did it last class, but I just want to do it as a kind of revision for us in our class today. Now, just permit me to change my screen. Permit me to change my screen to my QGIS. So that, all right, okay. Let me change my screen. And right, let me get my QGIS. Let me get my QGIS on here. Okay. Let me stop sharing first so that I can share my QGIS. Okay. All right. So so let me share again. Let me share again. Oh my God. Okay. So that we can just, yeah. All right. Can we all see my screen now? Can we see my QGIS now? I need a response, please. So, anyone here? Can we see my screen? All right. So I'll just proceed from here.
Yes.
All right. All right. So now, if you don't forget last week, just like I said, what we are dealing with, that we are dealing with multi-criteria overlay analysis. So, and what we'll be doing is very, very simple. We are looking at three criteria, a developed area that has three criteria. The number one criteria is that it's close to the road. Second criteria is that it's far from water bodies. Then the third criteria is that it's not under a protected region. So and yeah, if you check last class, we're able to convert. We have four, or let me say five. We have our boundary layer, we have our road that as vector layers. We have our water polylines as vector layers. We have our protected region as vector layer, and we have our water polygons as vector layers. So those are the five things that we have as vector layers. But we converted, look at, if you check my layer panel now, we converted all of them actually, but I just have to, because I want to kind of revise it, because I've removed the rasterized road layer here. So here we have the rasterized boundary layer, we have the rasterized protected regions, we have the rasterized water polylines and rasterized water polygons. Now, just to again call our attention and remind us how we're doing it. So we are going to right now go to how to rasterize our road, because we have removed the rasterized road from the place. So don't forget, we can't use vector because vector will only give us binary solution. Now, what I would do is I'll go to my tool tab here that we can see my mouse. So go to my toolbox tab here, and we are going to go to our GDAL. GDAL, this is GDAL. This is GDAL. Check your toolbox and you're going to find GDAL. So, and once you see GDAL, so all right. So before, let me close this also. So once you see GDAL, so one of the things you're going to see vector. You're going to see raster conversion there. So sorry, let's go to the vector conversion, because we are converting from vector to raster. So now if you see here, you see rasterize, vector to raster. So you double click. So once you double click this, don't forget what we are rasterizing is our road. So you pick your input layer as your road. So you pick your input layer as your road. So you pick your input layer as your road. Then you come to your fixed bound, to a fixed value to bound. Just pick that one as something that has to do with like one. So because I expecting that the other one is optional, I see that, but this one just pick it as one. Then you come to your width, our width will be 15 for this case. So then our our height also will be 15 for this case. Then our output will be our boundary layer. So you click this area, then you see calculate from layer, then you see that, then you click on boundary. So that's will form our boundary. So you have to set it, you have to set that, then we proceed. So we proceed. Then this assign a specified node data value. So we're not going to leave it like that. We're going to set it. Just click this cancel to put it on not set. So by the time you put it like that, then you are going to give it a name here. So yeah, you see save to temporary file, but we're going to save it on our file. Okay, so they're going to give it a name. Let's just give it something like let's give it something like raster underscore road. So and then the format is like this. So you save it. So after saving it, we have it saved already. So I think that works. Now it's something that we can run now. So it's something that we can run. Let's run it. So okay. Oh right. I have not. As can you see the? I love it. Sometimes our unit has not been specified. That's why it flagged it. So let's specify. We are going to choose georeferenced units. Now we can run it. All right. So it's running. So it's running. So I think that is how you can rasterize. That's the simple way to be able to rasterize the meaning of rasterizing is converting from vector layer to raster layer. And the reason why we are doing that is because it is best to use when we are doing multi-criteria layer analysis. The best thing to use is to use our raster layer instead of the vector layer. So, and then that is why we're having it now. It's running already, it's already 40%. So, and then after this now, you will be seeing on the layer panel here, you will be seeing our raster road. So after that, we now proceed to the next thing that we'll be doing. All right, before that, as this thing runs, as our our raster road runs, if you have any question, so you can just let me know also. So just to let you know that apart from running it as single layers like that, we can also run it as batch, and which we did last week. So I didn't just want to go over and over it. So because we still have a lot to cover and we just have a few minutes more, and I want us to go a bit far. I mean, a lot far as much as possible today. So now is in 90% already. So the next thing we'll be doing after we have our raster road. Yeah, it's completed. Can you see that we close it? See our raster road. Let me switch other things off so you can see our raster road. So this is our raster road. If I zoom it now, and then you see that. Can you see? And you see, all right, so that's the road networks in the place. But I don't have so much time, so just permit me to run a little bit. All right, so now, where we stopped last week actually was that we're going to make, because we are considering 3 criteria. So, but here, we are still seeing that we have water polygons and water polylines. Two things representing water. So what we're going to do now is to merge this together. So what we're going to do is to merge this together. We are going to just simply open our, normally it's just that my own is a 3.40. So normal way we should go is to go to our raster analysis under processing toolbox here. So first you will see your raster calculator here, but I'll be going directly using our raster calculator. When you come to this place, raster tab, you click raster tab, you see raster calculator also. You click on raster calculator. Here we have it. Now, what we are doing is that we are adding both the water polygons and the water polylines together. All right. So we're adding both the water polygons. So you click, see where our raster bands are. The raster boundary, the projected region, the road, the water polygon, and the water polyline. Now, we're just going to add those two water elements together. The water polygon, double click on it. So once you double click on it, you can see it appears on our expression tab. Then plus, you see your plus here, add plus, then water polylines. So you double click on it and you have it now. You can then you have to save it and name it something new. So we are let's call it raster meshed water. Raster meshed water. So let's do this. Let's call it raster underscore meshed underscore, sorry about that, underscore water. So we can now save it. So once you save it, you can see it's off or it's up here. That's okay. So our raster calculator is calculating and it's merging the two water elements together. So at the end of this, what we have is that we have one water element combining all of the elements, both the water polygons and the water polylines. So by the time it's done running, so don't forget, if you open your water, okay, I think this is running. I didn't want to obstruct that. So if you open your raster water polygon, it's still coming up. Okay, raster water polygon, you see, is from 0 to 1. You know, knowing that 0 is where there is no water and 1 is where there is water. All right. So you can also see that for the water polylines. So, but you will now see that when the two merge together, let me check our progress now. So we are just at 35%. So when the two now merge together, that one that is representing 1, showing the presence of water. So now the fact that you are adding raster water polygons and raster water polylines together, that one will be 1 plus 1, which is returned to 2. And then the 0 will be 0 plus 0. The down line will be 0 plus 0, which is it will not be 0 to 2. But we don't really want it that way. So as it loads, you will see what I'm talking about. You know, every other raster data here, you know, they are 0 to 1, 0 to 1, telling us that 0 is representing the absence of it, while 1 is representing the presence of it. That's the way we need it. But this one that we are calculating together now, it will give us 0 to 2. So what will now happen is that we have to reclassify it. We now have to reclassify it with the same raster calculator. So I think so. Anytime you are doing doing these things, we have to pay attention. Be sure that what you are doing is in the right class. So let's wait for it as as this run. So after so by the time we are done with that, we're going to reclassify it. Our mesh. So once it's done running, you will see our raster meshed water. Our raster meshed water is just 86% now. Will be done. Be done right now. So just like I said, we have to really correct it anytime we have something like this. Anytime we have something like this. All right. So 97 and we have our 100. Now we have our 100. Cool. Can we see it now? If you check the layer panel, you can see we have 0 and we have 2, which is not what we really want. So what will now happen now is that we are going to reclassify this. We are going to reclassify our raster meshed water. So okay, you can even close this, and close this. So you can see now we have our raster meshed water, but because it's not in the right class, so what you are seeing is not showing it. But after reclassifying it, you are going to see that it's going to be a change. So I go to my raster, I go to my calculator, so and then I will enter my code, and my code is that you can see here my raster meshed water has joined my raster band. So I double click it, can see it. So because I do not want it in that class, I'll just say I don't want it as 2. I'll just say it's greater than 0. Yeah, tap my 0. Tap my 0. Now, don't forget to save it because it's something new. That I save it. Now I'll call this one now. I'll call this raster, because I've done one before, so I'll change it. I'll just call it raster water 1. It's because I have one before. So I have raster water 1, then I save it. So I think that's all you need to do. Then you can click OK. Let's see. So it's running. By the time it's done running, you will see that layer and you will see a better display. Let's just wait. We're trying to see how this will be as fast as possible. It's not a very long process. It's a very short process. It's just that they're running. That's why, if not, by 4:45 we'll be done. But it's just because of these little minutes that they are using to run. So that's why the class will extend to 5. So while we are waiting for it to run, so if you have any question, so let me hear you out. Any question? If there are things probably last class you don't understand, and this class is they're not quite clear, you can let us know now. Right. So already 47% off. So I think that's just, and then if you are running these things, just like someone mentioned in the geospatial, don't forget there's geospatial community. If you have not joined this, the link, all right, so the link will be sent to this chat. So please do well to join. Just like our host has told us, she told us that the community, geospatial community, is where we don't just learn like this. We have opportunity to come with geospatial problems. We are not the one that will even talk, because people that are there are professionals. People that I have people that have institution of, like, what they do is geospatial things, in that group, people that can help you sort all of these things out. Please, if you have not joined, do well to join. So you can partner with people to do projects. There is access to mentorship. You get to see a lot of opportunity, courses that are going on, classes, hackathons that are going on. You get access to, first-hand information. That's just by the way. I just need to let us know that information as well. And now, 98%, 99%, and now it's complete. All right, great. Can you see our raster calculator has done well for us? We now have our raster water. I switch off this. Can you now see that our raster water is down 0 to 1 instead of 0 to 2 because of what? We've been able to do the class very well. Now, what we need now is just 3 things or maybe 4 things. So we're going to remove. Hear me well, not delete. I said remove. I'm going to remove all other water polygons that are there, and everything that we don't really need again, we just remove it so that it can make our work cleaner. So we are removing water polygons, we are removing meshed water, we are removing, what else are we removing? We are removing water polylines, we are removing raster, this vector rule, so that we can have a cleaner stuff to work with. So we can see remove once you have the way I did it was to hold my control and I was clicking on each of them. Once I click on each of them, I right click, I go to remove layer. You can see remove layer here. So once you remove layer, it asks you remove all legend entries, and you click what? Okay. So we see we have a better layer that we can, it's not dirty, cleaner. All right. So the next thing we are moving to now, you now have your raster water, you have your raster road, you have a raster protected region, and you have your rasterized boundary. So we are moving to the next step, which is what? Is to generate proximity raster. Don't forget that the three criteria. The first criteria is what? Closer to road. Second criteria is what? Far away from water body. And the third criteria is what? Is not under protected region. Now we are going to go now, and we are going to do the generate proximity rasters. Now, to do that, you go to your GDAL. Look at our two blocks here. So we are going to go to your GDAL. So by the time you go to your GDAL, let me close this first. So once you go to your GDAL, you go to raster analysis. So once you go to raster analysis, under raster analysis, you can see here proximity raster distance. Once you check the distance, that's what we are working with, to know the distance of each, so that you can make your informed decision. Double click on it, proximity. So now you see what we have here. So, but the first one we are going to do, we are going to check the proximity, do the proximity calculation of our road. So here, you click here, you pick road, raster road, all right? So you leave the band one, leave all of these ones, and then your distance unit, it will be in geo-reference coordinate. Then the maximum distance, we're going to make it 5,000, 5,000. So the value to be applied to the pixels, let's leave that optional. Then the next thing we're going to do is to set this to not set. Then we move downward. The next thing we're just going to do now is to save it, and save to file. Then what you are going to call this now, you are going to, let's call it roads proximity. Road proximity, all right? Road proximity. So you click save. So I think it's safe to be able to run this now. So let's run it now. I'm going to run a bit faster now. So let's run this. So it's running already. It's running already. You can see it's fast. It has simple things. It's just the time that it's taking to run. If not, it's just about about 15 to 20 minutes class all along. So we have it running here. So it's running. All right. So by the time it's running, I think what I would just do to make it faster is that I have it already. Okay. So the result that we'll be having by the time it's done running, you know what? So let's just cancel this. I'm going to cancel it. So I want to be, so that it won't be that it's 5 o'clock and we have not completed. So let me just drag it in. Let me close this now. Let me just drag what we're expecting. We're expecting a road proximity stuff. All right. I cancel this. So then I'll look for it here. Let me just look for it here, so that we can have a faster class. Road proximity. All right. I'll drag it. So, but I just have to do that so that we can see the process of doing this. So you can see I have my road proximity. Okay, you see that? Can we see that? So I have my road proximity. So, and then once you click it, you see that the band is 65,535, but we are going to set it to be 3,000. Let me switch off my raster water, and then let me just go to layer styling. This layer styling, this is what we call layer styling. So we open layer styling. So once we open layer styling, okay, let's go. So once we turn this maximum to 5,000, so yes, the visualization is better now. Then you zoom to layer, So I'm doing this so that our class will be faster. So let's close this. So we have the road proximity. Same way we'll do for that same process we'll do for the water proximity. So allow me to drag water proximity down again. All right. Okay. So see my water proximity So again, for better visualization, we change this to 5,000 maximum according to what we have. So yeah, this is our water proximity. So wow. So now we have this. We have this. Now we're about getting to interesting phases. Now, the next thing, we have been able to generate a proximity. You know what? We're dealing with the proximity of water and proximity of road. Road, it has to be close, isn't it? So it has to be close. And water, it has to be far from your whatever development you want to carry out. So it makes it, that's our criteria. And the last one is the protected region. Now, okay, the next thing we are going to do is that we are going to reclass both of them. The reason is that, we're just going, the reason why, like I said, we're going to an interesting part of this. And what we'll be doing now is we're going to reclass. Now, since that what we want is that the road should be closer to the developed area and the water should be far from it, and it should not be under a protected region. So now what we're going to do now is to, first of all, let's go by reclassing the roads first. All right. So, okay, let's go by reclassing the road first. I'm just going to go to my raster calculator. So, and I'm going to simply, now the idea, just like I said, the idea is that we will going to, what we are doing is to give marks to the places that are higher, that are closer to the road. We will give them 100. If they are far to the road, we'll give them other marks. So we are using 3 marks. We're using 100, 50, and we're using 10 marks. So if you are less than 1,000 meters to the road, it means that you get 100 mark. If you are like maybe between 1,000 and 5,000, it means that you get whatever we call, let's give it like 50 marks. Anything greater than 5,000 meters, that's too far. So I'm just going to give any category under that, like 10 marks. So let's go with that now. So I'm going to type my 100 first of all. So then multiply by, all right, say multiply here. So multiply by what we are dealing with now. What we are dealing with is our road proximity. So multiply by this. Let me put this in bracket. So then now I think, and if it's road proximity, if it's great, if it's less than, let me say less than 1,000 meters. All right. So let's close this bracket. So okay. So that's, we have allotted that now. Now plus, let's use our plus. We're going to use the second condition. So, and the second condition is we are giving them 50 marks. So and they multiply by, then open the bracket. So then our road proximity, you go to our road proximity again. Then you multiply. Okay. Now the first condition is that if it is greater than what? Greater than 1,000. Okay, greater than 1,000. So that's the condition. Then close this bracket first, then multiply again, because the second condition is greater than 1,000 and less or equal to 5,000. So multiply by root proximity, So, and then you have less or equal to, can you see that here? Less or equal to 5,000. 5,000. All right. So I close the bracket. My second condition has been met. Now I do my plus. I do my plus. So, all right. We'll just go ahead. Now we're done with the second group. Now we're going to add our plus to do the last mark in the last group, which is let's do this one. Okay, let's give this 10 marks. All right, 10 marks. Multiply, then a bracket our root proximity. So now this one is going to be what? Guess what? That's greater than what? 5,000. 5,000. Okay. So we close our bracket. So we have it here. So what we now have now is that for 100 marks for those that are less than, that means that are closer than 1,000, greater than 1,000, to about less or equal to 5,000. Then anything greater than 5,000, so we have here. So now we pick here, or just come here. We'll give it, come to this layer. Then just let's call it road reclass. Roads reclass. Can you see there's one here? So if I call it roads reclass one, road reclass one, okay, so I just put one to make it different. I save it. All right, so now if I click OK to run, so just like I said, because of our time, I've been saying that we are going to just cancel this and then drag it down. So let's drag our road reclass. Let's wait for it somewhere here. Road reclass, road reclass. So here is my road reclass. I'll just drag it down here. Okay. All right, so good. So here's my already class. Now, the next thing, I'm going to do the same thing for water. And then remember, the condition for the water is that it has to be far from the developed area. So, and we are going to, let's go to our raster calculator. So, what we want is that the water should be far, okay? So it means that we are going to give high marks to those that the pixels, those pixels that are farther from water bodies, we give them higher marks, and those that are closer to the water bodies, we give them what? Lower marks. So we will see is 150 and 10. Let's get to work. All right. So the first mark now is 100 multiply. All right. Then using, don't forget, working on water proximity, my bracket. Then I double click this one. Then now the one we are giving 100 is means that what is greater than what? 5,000 meters. Is well greater than, I mean, it's well far away from water, so that's why it's having that mark. Then the next condition plus, which is 50 marks, that takes 50 marks. Then multiply, then our bracket here, then our water proximity. So this time around, we're going to first of all say that what is let's just call it greater than 1,000, greater than 1,000. Then let's put this here. Then of course multiply this. The second condition is that it is greater than 1,000, then less or equal to 5,000. So less or equal to 5,000. Let's put this here. Our bracket, water proximity, then less or equal to 5,000, 5,000. Then we close this bracket. All right, so then I think, okay, I forgot my multiplication sign here. Can I put it? So let's put a multiplication sign here. Multiplication. All right, so that makes it complete. Then for the last one plus, we'll give this one 10 mark because they are close to the water body. All right, so multiply by our bracket open, water proximity. Then anyone that the distance is less than 1,000, so they're getting 10 marks. 1,000 meters, they're getting 10 marks. So now I'll just give it a name. All right, so I'll call it water reclass. Water reclass. So because I have one already, so I'll just put a one, then I put save. And next thing is ready to save. Can you see now? Once your OK is bringing out blue, it means that it's ready to save. If I click this now, because it will take us our time, so I'll just drag the one I have. Let me cancel it now. But that is, I have to go through this format because so that when you want to do your own, you can go through the same format and you'll be able to get the same answer. So I click cancel, then I'll go and drag my water class, right? Drag it down here. Okay, can you see that now? So our water class is there. So if you check the range, so if you check the range, look at it from 10 to what? 10, 50 somewhere here, and the 100 to the one that's what? That is farther, right? So we are good. So now, for me, I guess we are ready to just do something with all what we want is ready. Now our overlay analysis is what we want to do now. And this is where we are going. This is what we have been working at since last 1 hour. We're trying to work at. Now, the first thing we are going to do now is that we are going to add, since we have reclassed it together, so we are going to add, let's go to our raster calculator will still be on to help us to carry out this. So now what we have is simple. Now we open our bracket, we put our root reclass plus, right? We're just we're just adding our parameters. I mean, putting our parameters together now. Root reclass plus water reclass, then close your bracket, then multiply by our protected region, right? Where is our raster protected region? So you do this. Let's open a bracket for it. Then raster protected region. So, but what's the condition for the protected region is that it should not be under a protected region. So we're going to write not equal to, right, 1 here. All right. So I'm going to close the bracket. Then last one, then our boundary layer multiply by our raster boundary. All right. So here, if you run this, okay, let's give this a name. Let's give it a name. Let's call it overlay. Overlay. So because I have an overlay, I just put one, save it, say that it's ready to run. So if we run this now, you see what we have. So but because still, so I can manage our time, and we're going to just cancel this, and we're going to just bring our normal overlay down here. All right, let me look for overlay. Overlay. All right, there is overlay. I'll drag it down. So right, and you see overlay is what 0 to 200 because we merged the road reclass and the water reclass together because they have the same class. That's why we put them together. So that's why we put our protected region separate and our raster boundary separate. So, but that's so we have this now about our overlay. This is what I've been working at. This is what I've been looking for. This is what I've been doing. All that I've been doing to get. But it's not still. You can't present this to a client. It's still not giving what we want. So we are now going to just give it, add some symbology, give it some beauty. All right, and then the way you have to do it is what? Through your layer styling here. You can see it's already at this side, at this side. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do, make sure that this place it's on overlay. Are you getting it? If it's not on overlay, make sure you put it there. So don't always check it first. Then you can come here, change this to single band column. All right, can you see? It's giving us what we are really looking for, a little bit by bit. Then we're going to make this exact because we want it to be an exact boundary. Exact. All right, can you see our water is coming out now? So then the next thing we are going to do now is that always check this color ramp. If it's not there, but you can change your own color. But I love this color that we have here, such that red represent danger place where it's not suited for development, and our blue, it's a place I want to love to establish a developed area. So let's leave it that like that. All right. So there's one more thing we need to do here. There's one more thing we need to do here. Okay. All right. So let's add some label. Let's add label. Okay. Let's add label. This one, the one that was zero, the danger part. Let's just call it something around. What do you think? Let's call it not suitable a place to establish, right? We call it not suitable. All right. So this one, let's just call this 50. What do you guess? Let's call it least suitable. Least suitable. All right. Then this one now, let's call it suitable. Yes. Average suitable. Can manage it. So let's call this one Moderately suitable, moderately suitable. Okay, and then let's go the last one, most suitable, right? That's what everybody want, but because of money, you may want to, or some other factors, you may want to just go for. That's why we said in the beginning that it's good to use our raster data, because a raster layer. If you have used that vector, what will happen is that you won't be able to. It will only give you the option of two. But that's why we say it gives binary answers. It's either suitable or not suitable. So, but like this now, you are able to make your decision that, okay, because I can't afford the most suitable, can I just, do something around other, maybe moderate suitable or suitable, and then maybe because of other factors you want to begin to consider. So, you may have your own analysis. You may want to bring more analysis, more questions, more answers, and then, but that's why we do use reservoir for rasterize in the first place. Can you see in our layer here, they're already there? All right. So now, the next thing we are going to do is still not coming out. We are done, but want to come out. So we are going to change this I'm going to change this boundary. I'm going to make it better. So let's go to our boundary, click on boundary, and what we're going to do now. This boundary, we're going to come here, not be sure that the boundary is here. Then we're going to just come here, and what we are going to do now, turn it to the inverted polygons just like it used to be in the beginning. So click on this inverted polygon. Can you see now? Can you see now? Then the next thing we are going to do now is, let's change the color of the boundary to something more. That this conflicting. Let's change it to white. White. So can you see it's coming out better now? Can you see it's coming out better now? All right. So after that, the next thing we are going to do now, let's also, I'm looking at what else we can do here. So our simple field also, you can check it, but it's already in white. I'll check our bigger field and our simple field. I think here we are good. We are good. Then the last thing we are going to do, because to take away, we have separated our boundary now, but it's not visible because it's still down. It's still down the layer. Still down the layer. Let's bring it up the layer. You right click it and move to the top. By the time you click to move to the top, see what we have here. Oh, all right. So this is where we have been working at. This is what I've been working at. So it's so simple and so straightforward. So now let me just expand it so I can understand what we are doing. So it means that those places that are yellow, you can see now, those places are yellow, they are stable places. Those places are red, they are what? They are not stable places. You can't, if you do your business there, you are at a lot of risk. So you can make decisions from here and all of that, and then you can begin to just do much more inferences from this. So this is what we get to learn today. Thank you for um, staying up to this time. Don't forget, it's recorded. You can always go back and have access, and ask any questions on the group, on our Geospatial Telegram group, and stay tuned. Subscribe on our YouTube. This will be uploaded to our YouTube channel. Tune, subscribe, and then so you can get more videos that come, and then you can also, when you're on our group, you can also get a lot of classes over time, so you can be there physically to also ask questions. Thank you, and have enjoyed the rest of your day. Thank you. Before we go, let's return this to our zoom to layer. Where is this? Okay, can you see now? So let me just close this. All right, so I had to come back to do that. So this is all we want. Thank you, and goodbye.